Yeah, so move over to Q&A. Do we have any questions? Yeah, that's a question we get a lot, right? Because the Unibis example, do we only work with education?
Well, I can say that it works very well with educational companies. We've actually worked with a few, but the Milky Way is actually working for really large organizations.
I'm not on mute.
Oh, am I mute?
I'm just talking and you can see my mouth moving, and that's about it, right? I have to learn how to use the system. Yes, that's a question we get a lot. For which kind of organizations does it work? I can say that it works very well with educational companies. We've actually worked with a few, but we've worked with really large companies, up to truck manufacturing companies, and to even startups. So when you're actually setting up your business and want to figure out how shall we actually organize in the best way possible, this is a great way to do your mapping and see what capabilities do we need and what systems do we need to buy, so that you're not in 2 years' time just let everyone buy whatever they want, and then you have all this spaghetti diagram with different systems that needs to communicate, and you just create this mayhem. So it works from the small startup up to really large organizations.
Okay. Capabilities. Yeah, well, that depends on who you ask, but that's obviously something you do. So that's the easiest way to explain capabilities. Then you had a broad set of explanation about that, but I guess Cecilia wants to dig deeper into that as well.
Well, business capabilities are, that word is used in very many different ways. We see it as within business architecture, what you need to have in place within the organization to get these values to flow as well as possible. Sometimes they are expressed as goals that we should be able to meet our customers in a different, in a better way, for instance. So there's a lot of misconceptions about this kind of word, and it's also very close to processes. At least if we go back to the old description of what a process was, when it also included tools and information. So if capability is a word that you're not using within the organization, then you can just talk about what is actually going on. What do you do? Ask those kind of questions and just say that we draw them into these gray boxes. And if you don't want a gray box, change what it looks like. Just whatever works within your organization. So Wayne is asking, is the template already on Miro? And yes, it is. It is on something called Miroverse. So Alexander, you want to tell our audience how they can find the board?
Yeah, very much so. You can find it on Miroverse, and that's a separate entry point to Miro. So just write miroverse.miro.com. Or you can also actually find it in the templates section in the Miro board. So when you press templates, the little icon, there you will have your private templates, your company-wide templates, and then you have also a link to Miroverse. And in strategy and planning, you will find the Milky Way Enterprise Map.
And we will also send it out afterwards, a direct link to it. Yes.
And you can also find it on the milkyway.info. There's a direct link to the board there.
I can take that one. Yeah, it definitely, yes. But it's a new set of seeing the world, because developers often see things like user stories and epics. So So you need to start translating what is actually going on and the value flow, and have that common map in the middle. So you need to start really working with the developers so to see the bigger picture. One thing that is frustrating for developers, as for all of others, that what is actually this thing going to do within the whole value that I'm trying to create. So here, the Milky Way have a big part of explaining that, but it's definitely working. Yes. Do we have any more questions?
Do we have the book in digital format? Thank you, Sean Bernard, for that question. We are looking at that at the moment, actually. We've been really busy setting up the Milky Way Miro board, but we do hope that we will be able to offer it through Amazon within a few weeks. So far, it's only as a printed version, and you can find it on IRM's website, or go to the Milky Way Academy.com, and there you find a link to where you can buy the book for now. Alexander, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, well, I can start at least. Yes, I mean, ideal, you probably want to have the top management involved because it's covering the whole company. But with any tool, with any map, you can start drawing it wherever you are in the organization. So if I'm in sales and marketing and I want to map up just what is going on in my department, I can start doing that. And then I can start showing my colleague who's maybe before me in the planning section, saying, hey, I've mapped up my division here or my area. I would like to do the same with your area. And then we can continue. So we can do it bottoms up, or we can do it top down. And I think the beauty is that with any maps that we create, we can show it to a colleague and say, can you add your perspective and your information onto this?
And I like the information part, where you actually ask the information I get from your department here. How does it look before that? So I get input and output to my department if you're working traditional silos, as nobody do, of course, but yeah. All right.
Yeah, and sorry, just want to add to that one, especially with the information flow, that with normal processes, you really just look at who's coming next. But here you can draw the arrows to who else needs to know about this way further along in the value chain, which can be very hard to show in traditional processes maps. Yes, the courses are right now online. We will have courses on site as well, but given the pandemic going across the world, everything is remote. So all our courses are now online, and we will be using Miro in the courses, and we will be using different video chats, etc., to communicate and see each other and talk to one another.
This is my favorite part. Yes, we do. So in this pandemic, I have worked with the client now for the past 9 weeks, totally remote, but they didn't work remote before this pandemic. So yeah, we do. And we have a really crash course internally the last month about this, but now we're ready to really do it all across the world. Yes, so we do.
And I say you get as much value on an on-site delivery as on a remote delivery. I worked with remote deliveries in October before the pandemic with different time zones as well, and it works brilliantly. The customers are like, yeah, we could have had you in the room, wouldn't have given more value.
Yeah, and we actually did a course here just a few days ago in Sweden. It's a 3-day master course of the Milky Way. So if you're interested in that one in English, let us know, and we'd be happy to set that up for you. And that one we did completely remote for the first time. Anytime before we've used plastics on walls and post-its and stuff, and this time we used Miro. And the result was just phenomenal. And we're just going to continue on using Miro even when we can go back and see each other in the same room again. But this is, it's really working so well.
I would say this is a little bit like Scrum, for example. It's very easy to start, which is good. But then when you dig deeper into it and use it for change initiatives, then it's good that you have also the knowledge about the rest of the philosophy and thinking and the process that you use. So to start, it's very fast to understand and get a grip on it. Yeah. What's your experience, Alexander?
Yeah, I would share yours. It's very fast to get to dip your toes in the pool, and then you start discovering that you can expand and both horizontally and vertically and get more knowledge. But what I like with the tool is that you can start like download the Miro template for the Milky Way and start mapping out. And as you saw, 20 minutes on, you're already mapped out the bigger steps and start putting out capabilities. So the easiness is the beauty of it.
Yeah, that was the last question about the Q&As. And afterwards, now we will send out an email to you all guys. And thank you very much for participating in our webinars. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Great seeing you.
Thank you very much.